Hi friends, for today's video I wanted to show you how to crochet this beautiful top you see right here. It is so easy to make and it turned out so cute. I especially love all the details that went into it, like this ruffle you see right here at the bottom, and so it is perfect for layering any outfit as well. So if you think you'll enjoy having one, make sure to keep watching and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. Okay, so to start this beautiful top, I will be using this yarn from Hobbii called Panettone. It is lightweight and it's full sparkles, so I really love that. And I will be using my 4.5mm hook. So for this top, it's gonna be 3 panels. I'm gonna start with the back panel and I'm gonna make the size medium, but like always, I will put on the description the amount of chains for other sizes. So for this size and the back panel, I'm gonna start with a slip knot, insert my hook, and I'm gonna make 80 chains plus 1. So just yarn over and start making your chains. Once you have the amount of chains you need, you're gonna add 1 more to start this round and single crochet on the second chain from the hook. So insert your hook right there, grab your yarn and go through, yarn over and go through the 2 loops on the hook. So now chain 3, and on that same space you're gonna make 3 double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook in that same chain, grab your yarn and go through, yarn over, go through 2 loops, and again go through 2 loops. 2 more, and there's your first shell. Now you're gonna skip 3, and on the 4th one you're gonna make a single crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Insert your hook, and there you go. So again, chain 3 and 3 more double crochets in that same space. Again, skip 3, and on the 4th one a single crochet, and that will be it for this row. You're gonna do 3 chains again, 3 more double crochets in that same space, and skip 3, and on the 4th one do it all over again. So keep doing this until you get to the other side. So this round you should end up with a single crochet in the last chain, and to start the next one you're gonna chain 3 and turn around, and 2 more double crochets on that same single crochet, and now you're gonna single crochet between the chains on the previous shell and the double crochet. So in that space right there, insert your hook and do a single crochet. So easy as that. Now you're gonna make the shell in between the other shells from the previous row. So yarn over, and on that single crochet from the previous row do 3 double crochets. Okay, so single crochet again in between the chains and the double crochet on that next shell. Okay, and again 3 double crochets in that single from the previous row. So that would be it for this row. Single crochet in between the chain 3 and the double on the shell below, and 3 double crochets on the single crochet between the shells. So keep doing that until you get to the other side. I'm almost done with this round, and I'm ending up with a single crochet in between those chain 3 and the double, and a double crochet on that last, or the first I should say, single crochet on the previous round. Okay, so to start the next round, chain 1, and you can turn around, and just like the first one, single crochet in that first space you see, chain 3, and 3 more double crochets in that same space. Now you're going to single crochet on that last double you see before the single crochet on the previous round. So it would be right here. Here's the single, here's the last double I see from right to left. Okay, chain 3, and again do another shell of 3 double crochets in that same stitch. Do the same thing, 1 single crochet before that middle single crochet on the previous round. And that will be it for this round. So again, chain 3, 3 more doubles on that same stitch, and single crochet before the single crochet that you see from the previous round. So keep doing this until you get to the other side. I'm almost done with this round, and now I'm gonna single crochet on top of that last chain, and this is how it's looking. Okay, so now I'm gonna chain 3 to start the next round, yarn over and do 2 more double crochets in that same single, and now single crochet between the chains and the double crochet on that shell you see right next to where you started just now, and that's it. So yarn over and do the shell in that single crochet from the previous round. Okay, so 3 double crochets, and again single crochet in between the chains and the double on the shell from the previous row. Again, do another shell in this single crochet between the other shells, and that will be it for this round. So keep repeating this over and over until you get to the other side. Let me do this single crochet, and that will be it for this row. So I'll see you on the other side. Okay, I'm at the other side, and I'm just gonna finish with my single crochet in between the chains and the double, and a double crochet on that last single I see from the previous row. And that will be it for the pattern repeat. So you're gonna keep repeating the 3rd and 4th row over and over until you have 29 rows. And like always, I will put the chapters on the description in case you want to go back and forth, that it's way easier to do that. And so yeah, I will do my 29 rows and I'll see you then. Okay, so I have finished my 29 rows. It is looking so beautiful, and so now I'm just gonna chain 1 and turn around, and this is where I'm gonna start reducing a few rows. This is gonna be where the armpit will go, so this is gonna be the back obviously, and yeah, I'm gonna reduce here. So I'm just gonna insert my hook on that first single I see, and on the next one yarn over and go through the 3 loops on the hook. Do that same thing again, and you just reduce 2 times. So now I'm just going to continue the row normally. So 1 single crochet in between the chains and the double, and just do my shell. So 3 double crochets, and chain 1 here. So I'm gonna continue this until I'm almost finished with this round, right around here. I'm almost finished. As you can see, I did my single crochet here on this in between, and now I need to reduce this shell because I reduced one on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is just make a single crochet between those chains and the double, and that's it. That's gonna be how I end this round. So I just reduced that shell. Now I'm gonna start the next round. Just chain 1 single crochet on that same space, chain 3, and just start your shells for this round. And single crochet on that last double you see from right to left. Okay, so continue those shells normally until you're almost finished with this row, right around here. So I'm almost finished with this row, and I'm gonna put my single crochet on that first double I did on that previous round, on that first shell I did. And so it would be the 4th stitch, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a single crochet. So for the next row, that's the one where I'm gonna reduce again, the one where this ends up being flat. I think it's the 4th row repeat. And so I'm just gonna chain 1 and turn around, and this reduced row, you're gonna do it 3 times in total. So this would be my 2nd time reducing. I'm just gonna insert my hook on that first stitch I see, then the next one, yarn over, and go through the 3 loops on the hook. One more time. Okay, and my single between the chains and the double. And I can start my shells normally until I get to the other side, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did on that previous row where I reduced. So I'm on the other side, and just like I reduced on the other row on the left side, I'm just gonna do a single crochet between the chains and the double, and that's it for this row. So I'm gonna do another row normally, just like I showed you, and stopping right here, and then I'll reduce a 3rd time like I mentioned, and then I will meet you there. I reduced a 3rd time. As you can see, this got bigger, the other side is the same, and now I'm just gonna start another row normally, and I'm not gonna reduce. I'm gonna do 5 more rows normally, no reducing or anything. So just start your next row. Okay, and I'll see you here just to remind you where you are stopping. I am at the other side, and just like I showed you before, to continue here from left to right, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and there you are stopping. So like I said, no more reducing until you complete 5 more rows, and then I'll tell you what to do. So I finished my 5 rows that I needed with no reducing, and now I'm gonna start dividing this paddle into 2 straps, short ones, and this is what this means, this stitch marker, because I folded it in half. This is the middle. I'm gonna have 7 shells here and 7 here. For other sizes, it's gonna be the same method, just fold it in half, and you're gonna have 2 equal parts. So now I'm just gonna start my row normally, because I'm going to reduce here in the middle, not in this border. This part would be where your shoulder would go, and this would be where your neck is. So I'm just gonna start my shells normally, and I'll meet you in the middle. I reached the middle, and now I'm just gonna take this off. And just like when I reduce, I'm just gonna do a single crochet right here, and that's it. So now I'm just gonna chain 1 to turn around, and I'm just gonna continue here. So I'm just gonna continue my row normally, and then when I get back, I'm gonna reduce once again, just like I did here on this border, and I'm gonna do that again 3 times. So do this one normally, no reducing on this one, and then when you return, just do that 1 single crochet, so you are reducing 1 shell. So I'll see you when I have reduced 3 times. So I finished reducing, and as you can see, the strap is forming, and so now I'm just gonna chain 1, turn around, and begin my shells normally, no reducing or anything, for 6 more rows. So again, just continue doing your rows or shells normally until you have completed 6 more rows. I have completed 6 more rows, so I'm just gonna chain 1 and cut off my yarn. So to do the other side, I'm just gonna attach my yarn here on this point, this shell right next to where I ended or started reducing. And I'm going to attach my yarn like this, slip stitch, single crochet in that same space. And now I will complete the shell for this row normally. Single crochet between the chains and the double, and so on. So I'm gonna keep doing this, return, and then I will reduce again. I have gone back now, and this is the part where I need to reduce, and for this side it's gonna look a little bit different. So I need to reduce a shell. So instead of just anchoring here on that last double I see from right to left, I'm gonna do it but on these 2 shells. So insert the hook, grab your yarn and go through, and insert it on the same double from right to left, the last one, and very loosely go through the 3 loops on the hook. Okay, so you just reduced. Now chain 3 to start the next row, and just continue the row normally, no reducing for this one. Okay, so I'm going to do this one and then head back down again. I'm back here again where I need to reduce, and so I'm going to anchor myself again on this last double IC and the last one here on that row, yarn over and go through the 3 loops on the hook. Chain 3 to start the next round. And I'm just gonna do this row normally. So I have one more row I need to reduce, and so I'm gonna do this row and then the next one, and I'll see you there. Once again, I'm here where I need to reduce, and so I'm gonna insert my hook on that middle single crochet IC and then on the last stitch IC and go through the 3 loops on the hook. So I have reduced 3 times, and now just like the other side, I'm gonna do 6 more rows without reducing. So now I'm just gonna keep doing my rows normally, no reducing or anything, until again I have completed 6 more. Okay, so I have completed the rows that I needed that were left, and now both of the straps look the same, and I am done with the back panels. So now what I have to do is the front panels, and I need 2 of them, and you're gonna do almost the same thing as this, but half of this. They literally will look like this. I will show you what I mean. Here I have one of the front panels that I already did, and so the only difference for these 2 front panels is that it's gonna be half of the chains you needed for the back panel. So here are 40 chains plus 1 and 1 more chain to start the round, but then here it's the same. So start making the pattern normally until you have the 29 rows, just like the back panel. Then you will reduce 3 times, 5 more rows, and then you will reduce 3 more times, and then the same amount of rows as the back panel to finish it off. So it's gonna be 6. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. And so yeah, almost the same thing. The only difference is 40 chains here plus 1 chain and another one to start the round. Of course, I will put on the description the other chains for other sizes, and you can also go back to that chapter where I started reducing if you want to see it again. But yeah, it's almost the same thing. The only difference is half of amount of chains. So I'm gonna complete the other half I need of this panel, because you need two to close it off, and then I'll meet you to do the next step. Okay, so I have finished both of my front panels and my back panel, and now it is time to put it together. First, I wanted to quickly mention that for the front panels, I use both of the methods that I show you to reduce. So here is one, and here on the side is another one, and the other panel would be like a mirror, so it would be the other way. So yeah, I'm gonna start by putting it together on the shoulder. The panels look the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter which side you choose to be the wrong one or the right one. And so I'm just gonna start by putting my hook in the corner and attaching my yarn. And for this, you can do slip stitches, you can do single crochets, which is the one that I prefer, and you can also do with a needle, like hand sewing, whichever you prefer. So I'm gonna slip stitch that same space and single crochet in that same space, and just begin my single crochets. So I'm gonna put it like this, both of the sides. I will do the same thing on the other shoulder, and once I get here, I will chain one and cut off my yarn. So pretty easy, pretty basic. And so I'm just gonna finish this off camera, and I'll meet you for the next step. Okay, so I have finished putting the shoulder part together, and now I'm gonna do the sides, and it's gonna be the same method. So I'm just gonna insert my hook on the corner here, or you can do it starting here, whichever you prefer, and just attach your yarn. So again, single crochet in that same space, and then you can keep doing the same thing. So I'm gonna keep doing this off camera. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. When you reach the end, of course, chain one and cut off your yarn. So I'll do both of the sides, and I'll see you for the next step. Alright, so I have finished putting it together. This is how it's looking on the right side. This is how it's looking on the inside. But yeah, with the main part of this project, I am finished, and so now we are going on to the details. So the next step would be to do a border of single crochets all the way around and reach the other side and onto the border, the back, and return here again. So just like the inside seams, I'm just gonna insert my hook and attach my yarn. Slip stitch, and if I want to hide my tails at the same time, I just do my single crochets with my hook underneath and my tails right there, and complete my single crochet. So again, just like the inside seam, just put one wherever you see a space. And for every corner I see, like for example, this here or this here, I'm gonna put two in the same space, just so it looks more pointy, more defined. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing one single crochet per space, like I said, going all the way around the top until I get back here again. Okay, so I have gone all the way around and I finished the border of single crochets, and now I'm gonna slip stitch on that first single I did, and so chain one to work on the bottom. Now I'm gonna do the detail here on the bottom of this top. So I'm gonna turn around. So I'm gonna single crochet on that first stitch I see. And now I'm gonna chain 5, skip 2, and on the third a single crochet. again, chain 5, skip 2, and on the third a single. So you're gonna keep doing this all the way around until you get to this corner, and then you will stop here. So I reach the other side, and now I'm gonna chain 1 again and turn around, single crochet on top of the other one, and now on this little spaces I'm gonna make 5 double crochets per that space, and on the middle I will do that same single crochet. So yarn over and start making the doubles. Okay, that's how it's going to look. Again, I'm going to do that for every space I see, and don't forget the single crochet in the middle. I reached the other side, and this is how it's looking, really pretty. And so I finished with my single crochet there, so I'm just going to chain 1 and turn around, single crochet again, and now I'm just gonna do my double crochets on top of the other ones, and don't forget the single crochet in the middle. And that's it for this round. So 1 double on top of the other double from the previous row, and the single crochet in the middle until you get to the other side. I reached the other side, I finished with a single crochet, and now I'm gonna chain 4, and I'm sort of repeating the row 2. Turn around. And by the way, if you already like this little detail and you don't want it any longer, you can stop right here, but I want it a little longer. So now I'm gonna skip 2, the one here and the one next to it, and do single crochets until I have 1 stitch left to the right. From this middle single crochet, I have 1 stitch left here, and I'm gonna leave 1 to the left as well, to the right and the left, and chain 5. And continue my single crochets. And I'm gonna do the same thing, 1 stitch to the right and 1 to the left from this middle right here, and chain 5. So I'm going to continue this until I get to the other side. I'm at the other side once again, and I ended just like I started, 4 chains here, and I anchored myself with a single crochet at the end. I chained 1, and I'm gonna turn around, and this is gonna be sort of like the 3rd round. I'm gonna make double crochets on those spaces right there. On this corner I'm gonna make 4, and wherever I see a single crochet, here I have 3, and every other 5 chains I have the same thing. So single crochets wherever you see one, and on the chain 5 spaces, the same thing as the other rounds, 5 double crochets. So pretty easy, just like the 3rd round. And so I'm gonna continue this until I get to the other side, of course, and then I'm gonna return back just like the 4th row, and I'm gonna do double crochets on top of these ones and single crochets wherever I see one. So I'm not gonna show it again because it's almost the same thing. So I'm gonna reach the other side and then come back again, and then I'll tell you what to do next. So I finished what I said I was going to do. I finished that row and then went back and did that row of double crochets on top of the other one, and this is how it's looking. At the end I chained 1 and cut off my yarn, and now we are going to do the final detail, which is the bows in the front, and it's going to be 3 strands. So right now what you're going to do is measure from here to here and divide that number in half, and this is what this stitch marker means. So I'm gonna attach my yarn on this corner, slip stitch until I get here again. That way you don't have to reattach every time you do a strand, and then go back on that chain, slip stitch, and do the third one here. So I'm going to show you what to do now. I am attaching my yarn here, slip stitch, and I'm gonna make 55 chains. Once you do your chains, you're gonna insert your hook on the second chain from the hook and do single crochets. So you're gonna do that one per chain until you get to here again. I am back here, and just like I mentioned before, you're gonna slip stitch along this single crochets just so you don't cut off your yarn and then reattach here in the middle. And so just insert your hook, grab your yarn, and go through the loop on your hook, and just keep doing that until you get to the middle. Once you get to the middle, you can just take the stitch marker off, do a slip stitch, and then you're gonna do the same thing you did here, 55 chains, and then turn back around with single crochets, and then keep doing the slip stitches until you do the final strand right around here. The same thing, 55 chains, and then turn back around, and then finish your slip stitches if you have any left, and then you can chain one and cut off your yarn. So I'm gonna finish this off camera and I'll meet you here. So I got to the end here. I just chained one and cut off my yarn, and I also hit the tail, so that's how it's going to look. And I also did the other side, so now I have the two matching sides, and I can do the bow and put it together. So yeah, I did mention that this was the final detail, but there is a detail that if you don't want to do it, it's totally okay, but I like to do it. It looks more finished that way, and it would be this border detail on the armhole. It's just a border of single crochets. You can just attach your yarn just like you did for this border on the neckline and the front panels, but in this armhole, so it looks more finished to me. So I totally recommend doing it. It's pretty quick. So once you do those two armholes and you do your strands here, you are done with this beautiful top. So friends, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful top. I know I did, especially for the holidays with all this sparkle. And so if you think you'll keep enjoying my content, like always, make sure to turn on those notifications and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.